You should not go to Japanese convenience stores. At least, not until you watch this video. Japanese convenience stores are often described as the best in the world. They are clean, safe, open 24 hours, and the food quality is surprisingly high. That's exactly why many international travelers think, as long as I go to a convenience store, I'll be fine. But that mindset may be quietly draining your travel budget. Convenient does not always mean cheap. One visit feels inexpensive, but 3 visits a day for a week? And if you rely on convenience stores too much, you may be missing out on real local food culture in Japan. This video is not about criticizing Japanese convenience stores. In fact, it's the opposite. If you use them wisely, they can be one of your best travel tools. Today, I'll show you the smart way to use convenience stores during your trip to Japan.
Samurai Junjiro Channel.
Chapter 1. Convenience stores are not cheap. First, there's something important you need to understand. Japanese convenience stores are not the cheap option. Prices in Japan may feel reasonable compared to prices in your home country. However, within Japan, convenience stores are relatively expensive compared to supermarkets and drugstores. For example, a 500 ml bottle of water at convenience stores, it usually costs around 150 yen. At supermarket, the same size bottle is often around 100 yen and sometimes even in the 80 yen range. That may seem like just a 50 yen difference, but if you buy 2 bottles a day, there's a 100 yen difference per day. Over a week, that becomes 700 yen. The same applies to rice balls, salads, and sandwiches. Supermarkets are often dozens of yen, sometimes even 100 yen cheaper per item. Convenience stores are designed for quick, small purchases, but that convenience often comes at a higher price per item. The problem is not the cost of one purchase. The real issue is frequency. Coffee in the morning, a quick lunch, drinks and snacks at night. Each visit may only cost a few hundred yen, but in total, it can easily reach 1,500 to 2,000 yen per day. Now imagine doing that for 7 days. You might end up spending over 10,000 yen at convenience stores without even noticing. So it's not that convenience stores are outrageously expensive. It's that they become expensive when used the wrong way. Chapter 2. Smarter alternatives to convenience stores. This is the most important part of this video. I'm not saying you should never go to convenience stores. I'm saying you don't need to go there every time. If you want to control your food budget, there are places you should remember. First, supermarkets. Prices are clearly lower than at convenience stores. For example, a 500 ml bottle of Coca-Cola. At convenience stores, it usually costs around 170 to 190 yen. At supermarkets, it is often around 130 to 150 yen. That's a 30 to 50 yen difference per bottle. The same goes for beer. A 350 ml can of beer usually costs 220 to 260 yen at convenience stores. At supermarkets, it is often around 180 to 210 yen. The difference per item may seem small, but if you buy them daily during your trip, the difference really adds up. The same applies to ready-made meals. A convenience store meal usually costs around 500 to 700 yen, while supermarkets often sell similar meals for 400 to 600 yen. And Japanese supermarkets have one big advantage. Discounts start in the evening. Between around 6 p.m. and 8 p.m., items may be discounted by 10%, 20%, or sometimes even 50%. A 600 yen meal can drop to 300 yen. This rarely happens at convenience stores. Next, remember drugstores. In Japan, drugstores are well known for low drink prices. A 500 ml Coke can sometimes be found in the 120 yen range. Water and tea are often as cheap as, or even cheaper than, supermarkets. Many locals buy their everyday drinks at drugstores. Travelers rarely use them, but they are one of the best value options available. And then, vending machines. Japan is famous for its vending machines. In tourist areas and inside train stations, drinks may cost 160 to 180 yen. But in residential areas, you can often find machines selling drinks for 120 to 130 yen. The way to spot them is simple. Inside ticket gates and in the middle of tourist spots, prices are higher. A short walk away often means lower prices. Convenience stores charge for convenience. Supermarkets and drugstores offer everyday local prices. Just knowing this difference can significantly change your travel expenses. Chapter 3. Convenience stores are not cultural experiences. Japanese convenience stores are amazing. They are clean, efficient, and offer surprisingly high-quality products. But they are not the essence of Japanese culture. A convenience store is almost the same wherever you go. Whether you are in Tokyo, Osaka, or Hokkaido, yes, they are regional items, but the overall experience is very similar everywhere. On the other hand, Japan has many places that truly reflect local character. For example, traditional shopping streets. Across Japan, many old-style covered shopping streets still exist. Green grocers, fish shops, traditional sweet stores, small deli shops. These are places where local residents shop every day. It's common to see shop owners chatting with customers. That's something you rarely see in a convenience store. Local markets are also important. Morning markets and fresh seafood markets display local vegetables and regional specialties. There are local smells, sounds, and energy in those places. Some markets are tourist-friendly, but they still offer a completely different experience from convenience stores. If you are eating only at convenience stores during your trip, you may be spending your time in space that feels the same everywhere. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's hard to say you are truly experiencing Japan in depth. Chapter 4. The right way to use convenience stores. So far, we've talked about the downsides of convenience stores, but this is where it gets important. Convenience stores are not places you should avoid completely. When used correctly, they can be one of your greatest travel tools. In Japan, many shops close at night. Many restaurants and supermarkets close around 9 or 10 p.m. However, most convenience stores are open 24 hours. When you return to your hotel late at night or suddenly feel hungry, that's when convenience stores are perfect. Late night use is exactly what they are designed for. The same applies early in the morning. On days when you leave early before heading to the airport, most shops are still closed. At that time, convenience stores allow you to quickly grab a snack or coffee. For travelers on a tight schedule, this is a major advantage. Not all ATMs in Japan accept foreign cards. However, many convenience store ATMs accept international cards. Major chains usually offer English menus and simple instructions. When you suddenly need cash, it is often easier to find a convenience store than a bank. This is a major advantage for travelers. Some convenience stores in Japan provide restrooms. They are more commonly available in suburban or rural areas. Finding a restroom while sightseeing can sometimes be difficult. Of course, it's important to be respectful when using them. Buying a small item as a courtesy is a thoughtful gesture. In Japan, sudden rain showers are common. In those moments, you can quickly buy a transparent umbrella at a convenience store. They usually cost around 500 to 700 yen. They are sometimes cheaper than umbrellas sold at tourist spots. A place where small travel problems can be solved immediately. That is the true strength of convenience stores. Chapter 5. What to buy at 7-Eleven Japan. Not all convenience stores are the same. Japan has several major convenience store chains, and each has its strengths. If you care about food quality, 7-Eleven is often the first name that comes up. One of the most famous items is the egg sandwich. Japanese egg sandwiches are known for their soft bread and smooth, creamy egg filling. The price is usually around 300 yen. It's a simple product, but the flavor balance is very consistent. Next, pay attention to the frozen food section. 7-Eleven is known for offering high-quality frozen meals. Items like fried rice, pasta, and ramen are widely available. Most items are priced between 300 and 500 yen. They are especially convenient if your hotel has a microwave or if you are staying for a longer period. They are not freshly cooked on the spot, but the quality is reliable and the value is good. And then the boxed meals. 7-Eleven is often praised for the overall quality of its boxed meals. Prices usually range from 500 to 700 yen. Of course, it is not the same as eating at a restaurant. But when you are short on time and want something reliable and quick, it works well. Chapter 6. What to buy at FamilyMart Japan. At FamilyMart, you should focus on their high-quality counter snacks. The signature item of FamilyMart is Famichiki. It usually costs around 230 to 250 yen. It's boneless, crispy on the outside, and juicy inside. At this price, the quality truly shows the strength of Japanese convenience stores. Another must-try item is the frappe. You take a frozen cup from the freezer, pay at the register, and pour milk using the machine. The price is usually around 330 to 380 yen. The texture is rich and creamy, close to cafe quality. On hot summer days, it's more satisfying than buying multiple bottled drinks. Chapter 7. What to buy at Lawson Japan. At Lawson, you should focus on sweets and classic hot snacks. The signature dessert at Lawson is the premium roll cake. It usually costs around 170 to 200 yen. The sponge cake is soft and fluffy, filled generously with fresh cream. It looks simple, but the sweetness is light and refined. In a cafe, this level of quality could easily cost over 500 yen. Another famous item is karaage-kun. The price is usually around 240 to 260 yen. It comes with 5 bite-sized pieces of fried chicken, lightly crispy outside and tender inside, with various flavor options. Chapter 8. Ministop is actually worth visiting. Ministop feels less like a convenience store and more like a small food stand. The biggest attraction at Ministop is its in-store soft-serve ice cream. The price is around 300 yen. When you order, it's freshly dispensed right in front of you. At a tourist spot, this quality could easily cost 500 to 600 yen. Unlike other major convenience stores, Ministop focuses heavily on food prepared in store. Items like fries and hot snacks are served fresh and hot. It's perfect when you want a small, freshly made hot snack. Chapter 9. Understanding NewDays. So far, we've talked about what to buy at each convenience store. But this chapter is different. This is not about products, it's about location. That is NewDays. NewDays stores are mainly located inside JR train stations. You see them frequently in stations operated by JR East. Many are located inside ticket gates or near platforms designed for quick stops during travel. Before boarding the Shinkansen, it's very convenient to quickly grab drinks or snacks. You don't need to leave the station to look for a store. For travelers with limited time, it's a very practical option. Prices are roughly the same as other major convenience stores. And of course, it's more expensive than supermarkets. So it's not a place to save money. You're paying for convenience during transit. Chapter 10. The Smart Traveler's Convenience Store Strategy. Here's the conclusion of this video. Smart travelers use them only at the right moment. First, Japan has very few public trash cans. As a tourist, you often end up carrying your trash with you. However, if you buy something at a convenience store, you can usually dispose of it there. For travelers, this is a major advantage. Second, let's talk about Wi-Fi. Currently, free Wi-Fi is mainly available at Lawson. It's not meant for heavy browsing, but it works as a temporary solution after arriving in Japan before you get your SIM card. And then ATMs. ATMs at 7-Eleven Japan and Lawson often accept international cards. They are reliable when you suddenly need cash. Also, using up coins. Japan still relies heavily on cash, and coins pile up quickly. Convenience stores are perfect for small purchases. And the most important part is timing. Use convenience stores at night, early in the morning, and in emergencies. They show their true value when other stores are closed. Buy your drinks in bulk at a supermarket. Have breakfast at a local bakery. A trip that relies only on convenience stores misses something. Convenience stores are convenient, but they are not Japan itself. If used wisely, they become the best support tool for your journey, not the main attraction. Well, that's it for today. See you in the next video.